Good evening. It's just before 7. No, I finally we got the contracts and stuff like that done, fully done when it came to, uh, or came to, whatever you want to put it, to dealing with where I've got things all set and legal with the other property owners, so that way we can, because they just got 2 empty lots and they've been wanting to sell them, and so to save them money on realty fees or the realty costs and listing fees and all that stuff, I had asked them if they, would like to include it into the sale of my home. So then it makes it like there's been a whole bunch of shit over one issue that the law already covers, but people just don't want to read, or look things up at least and then read it. No, I'm not like one of those people. I have books, but I have to, like, it's very specific subject matter that I will get interested in to be able to read through. Like certain books, like either there's some that I could sit and read, but it might take me a while to read, and where others I'll get absorbed into it enough that I could sit there and just read the whole time. But I don't really have a whole ton of books. uh, I feed my brain a lot through, of all things, like between audio and video and all that. Reading, when I go to read, there's times where I have to read sentences 2 or 3 times to understand what is being said. So it makes things a little bit harder. It takes a little bit longer. Um, which is odd because I'm slow at, I can be slow reading, but I can be very quick when it comes to writing. It's just as it flows out my brain, I just just going crazy. I can't do that whole shit the other people do. It's just literally just old school bullshit. But yeah, I can write, but I kind of lost myself a little bit there where I was going, because right now I'm, yeah, medicating a little bit, dealing with some anxiety and some tumor pain going on in my lower back and hip. No, I got the realty stuff done and dealt with and all that, so that should be good to go. Um, those contracts are done, as I was saying. That's where what I was talking about before I sidetracked myself was done and all. And so the listing for the home will finally go out here tomorrow. Um, I might. No, I'm not gonna say that here. But I am hoping that they'll finally put the updated photos in instead of the pictures that were just used while I was in the middle of moving. And no, I couldn't get everything because yeah, the my truck engine blew and all that fun stuff. Yeah, there's some things I really want to talk about. Like there's one vid I uploaded and just kept it unlisted because I'm not sure whether to make it public or not, and I may actually turn it private here shortly because I allowed my brother to watch it because it's like there's some concerns that I'm having. I'm aware that my emotional being has been just not super stable right now from all this shit going on. So I'm aware of this stuff. So sometimes I start to even question my own bullshit at times. It's hard for me to ignore things when I see it in front of me and have all this information in front of me. And then the experiences that I've had and the people that are involved. I'll just put it that way. I start to put things together. I might be slow at processing, but once I get hooked, my brain starts to hyperfocus on a situation. It will not stop. I have to redirect myself to other things at times there, especially through this. So I'm not stuck on it 24/7, driving myself crazy even on that. Sitting here alone 24/7 is done enough on my mind. Um, Being in this type of situation since over the last 4 or 5 years, with extremely minimal human contact and all that, I'm aware of what it does to a person's mind. There's a reason why you won't even find 1% of the world population where people have lived in where someone's living completely isolated by themselves. It is such a small few group of people. Very small group. And even they over time recognize that they need that human interaction here and there. No matter how much they might enjoy their alone time, they still need that human contact. There's a reason why they consider being put in isolation in prison a punishment. And when you've got someone who's been socially isolated for 4 years, what do you think that's going to do? Where the only people that they're allowed visitation rights, so to speak, is one of their best friends and their parents. And then you get to every now and then get to talk to the market guy or a neighbor here and there. But then you have to worry about people standing there hovering over, behind trees, trying to snoop and listen in on conversations, all this crap. Like, what is the neighbor going to give up a secret or something of theirs, or what? Or are they afraid that I'm going to expose them to the neighbors of their abuse? The neighbors already know, even though we don't get along at all anymore. They already know. They saw plenty. They heard plenty also. And it wasn't just from me. They knew there was something wrong. They also paid attention to how they got treated by her. Which was almost similar to me, like it didn't exist. I've had, over the time period, over the last 2-3 years, I've had a lot of threats online. Mainly in private messenger and over the span of 3 different profiles. Because as I said before, I've got like 4 Facebook profiles. Only one of them do I actually use. One stays active because it's linked to a couple games that I play on my phone. Where the other 2 are deactivated. And the reason why I had to do so every couple years or every few years is because every time I got those reminders, it was just bad shit. And it gets to a point like when all you're seeing is just all this negative shit reminders. It's like, I don't really want this. And the only reason why I keep this is so I have that option to be able to go back, pull the pictures I have of my kids, family, stuff like that from these profiles, to be able to save once I can get to a position where I have stable internet and can use my current computer and all that fun stuff. Like, I have to rely on the hotspot either from my phone or my tablet. But I would do away with them altogether. I mean, when it comes down to it, I would do away with social media altogether and just basically stick with this at this point because of what I've had to deal with. It's like I'm willing to, in essence, kind of share my life and my experiences and all that, but also make it to the point where virtually nobody can contact me unless I want you to contact me. That's where it's kind of heading. And it's very much borderline coming to that. I wasn't the one who was being unfaithful in my relationship and getting these third-party people involved, and it was more than one person. It was multiple people. And the fact that I'm getting, I'm getting consistent random threats from people where there's a specific, let's just say topic. Not topic, I'll say feature that they all have in common that I'm realizing that it's very much linking them, and I'm starting to see where it's all, kind of going towards. And it's not necessarily my ex-person, but it's somebody that they got involved with, which has continued to allow the harassment and abuse to go on. You know, that's why, like, I don't answer my phone to anybody anymore. If I don't know a number, if I don't know who you are and you're calling me, or I don't know that you're gonna call me and it's from a specific number, I'm not gonna answer the phone. When it comes to weird text messages from random numbers or people, I won't respond. And depending on what's stated in there, I will take a screenshot and I will save that message. Like I said, I've been dealing with a lot of harassment, and I'm still dealing with the abuses going on the psychological aspect. Because yes, it puts me in a position to go, okay, now I have to kind of worry about the fact that I'm either dealing with somebody's jealous ex that they cheated on me with, or something. There's other things that I'd like to state or say that I just don't want to bring into it at this point. It's just, all I can do is keep hoping and having faith in God, in the sense that this place sells as fast as possible, so that not only can I finally rebuild and start over again, because I've been taken for everything. This has been my, like, my hope is this sells, I have a chance to start over for once and start following my dreams that I've had to put off for so long because I've been fucking straight drained and abused for the last decade. The idea that the last 10, 12 years has been a lie. And I gave everything of myself to them. Till I started losing it. Till I lost it all. I didn't just start losing myself. I lost it all. Like, there's videos on my other channel from about 10 years ago that you see where I go out fishing. I brought this up before. And you'll see that it's two different people where it comes to myself. If I was to go back and start pulling up the pictures from over the years of myself and everything else through this process, you'll see how this shit has affected me, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Like, you can see the smiles fade. You can see the joy go away. You can see that energy and happiness and that drive to try and do better go away. It turned into a drive to survive. I gotta try and make this person happy because I do love them so fucking much. Yet at the same time, I don't want to keep getting accused that I'm being this fucking monster or this piece of shit, or I'm being lazy and all this other crap, and that they're doing it all and I'm incapable of. I had all that shit going on. I had to live in fear that and whether they want to, believe it or not, yeah, I had to live in fear of them getting pissy and just calling the cops and making some random fucking false accusation to throw me in jail. She had already done that more than once. And it became a control thing. I don't know how many times she's threatened to call the police on me. I actually did a vid on that show at one point, showing all the, on several occasions where she threatened to call the police on me, and did, and made false reports. All kinds of shit. As I've said in a previous vid, my character was assassinated. As a person, my personal character, it's been assassinated. Big time. From a lot of shit talking and gossiping from somebody who does so impulsively and compulsively, or however you want to put it, when they're fucking pissy. And when they're pissy all the fucking time because you're not rich enough, or you're not good looking enough, or what have you. You don't just have to deal with the put downs of getting told, you're pretty, intelligent person. You could have went far in your life. How can you go far in life when you got somebody who's literally keeping you from being able to really do anything other than you're stuck here being labeled a piece of shit? You go to try and get a job, they find a way to cost you your job, whether it's through gaslighting arguments and mentally abusing someone into a meltdown, or she straight up abandons them. And being left, every 3 to 6 months out of nowhere, I'd either be in town or coming back from up north, come home to an empty home base, where she's gone and all this shit, and I'm sitting there going, what the fuck? What did I fucking do now? I was never good enough. And it was always about fucking money. This is why money to me is just a fucking tool, and at the same time, it's one tool I almost like, and hate's a strong word to me, but I almost hate it. I know in this type of world, in this type of society, you kind of need it to fucking deal with your bills, fucking be able to have a home and all this shit. But when people treat it like it's a lifeblood and it's more important than human beings, because, I'm sorry, without human beings, there's no value in money. Zero. It's still just cotton and ink. And so I still can't really wrap my brain around how people can choose money over their family. How they choose money over their significant others or any person at all. It's like what you did is you sold your soul to the devil. And you got to make that right with yourself and God, and nobody else can do it for you at that point. If that's what it is, you got to realize that when you put all this love into material things and then you're wondering why things are going wrong and why relationships aren't working for you, it's probably because you should probably start putting that energy of that love that you've put into material things into people and into your relationship and the person that you want to be with. The rest of this shit will come when and if it does. And if you spend your relationship breaking your other half down while you rely on them to build you up, and then you get them broke down enough that you've not only effectively changed them as a person, you've changed their life in many, many perspectives, down to how they cope with it, how they basically kind of walk through life at that point. Their stride gets changed, and it can become permanent if it stays that way. And that sort of those types of things just continue on for long periods of time. They can get stuck into that stride where they know they got to break from it, but they're having trouble. Some people would almost call it a mental block, an addiction, something. When it comes to narcissistic abuse, there is something fucked up there that is a weird addiction, a weird fucking. All they have to do, they don't even have to talk to you. All they have to do is email you, tell you how much they miss you and all that. And because their voice is in your head, you hear their voice as you read this stuff. And it's a dog whistle. And not many people can understand what that means. They can sit and degrade you to your face in front of friends and family, and friends and family will go along with it thinking it's funny, not realizing that they're passive aggressively fucking shitting all over you. And then it gets to a point where they've got friends and family so comfortable to it that they can openly do it. I had I had everything tested the last several years, especially the last 4 or 5 years. My faith, everything was absolutely fucking tested. I just about lost all my faith, all my hope, everything. And yes, this is why people keep targeting my favorite artist right now. Not just right now. She's probably become very much my favorite artist, because if it wasn't for that music, I would not have been. I would have lost all my faith in God. I would have not had my hope anymore. I was ready to kill myself at that time. I still battle with those tendencies from all this shit nonstop. It doesn't go away. And that's why I'm relying on everything that I can that this place sells. I was given an opportunity, and so was she, and she fucking pissed it off. But I was given an opportunity to actually try and do something in my life and not eventually end up in the gutter. And I was not about to fucking waste it, even though I have gone through so much fucking hell in this place. I worked my fucking ass off on this house and property for what I could do within my limitations. Paid for it the whole fucking time and was barely able to even get by. She didn't help for nothing. She used my identity to go fucking apply for grants and other stuff. She didn't have to pay for the bills. She got to keep her money. Down to try sucker me into getting jobs to go and pay for her bills until she realizes that I was going to make more money than her without a college education because I had experience in restaurants and cooking. As soon as she found that out, within 24 to 48 hours, that job was gone, and I was dealing with the judicial system at that point. She mentally ran me down nonstop. I was constantly being devalued, constantly being dismissed, constantly stonewalled. All of this shit. And she knew it. Constantly running down the hallways. And if she wasn't doing that, I would get, go fuck yourself. I wish I left you in that hospital. Um, yeah. You're stupid. Stop being crazy. Oh, I was just joking. Oh, I didn't mean anything by that. I was just being sarcastic. I dealt with a lot of mental abuse these last few years. This doesn't count all the shit I have had to deal with from my own family growing up. The idea that this person succeeded at costing me my kids, costing me a lot of family and friends, even through my kids. I mean, they're definitely faithful flying, a couple of faithful flying monkeys. I love my kids, but I want nothing to do with them. After the threats I've had, after the ultimatums that were made, all that shit, I want nothing to do with them. They're the ones that are going to have to make that effort. And I'm sorry if, not really sorry, but it's on them for the fact that they've been blocked up on every which way. That the only way that they're going to be able to make amends at some point, especially after I move, is they're going to have to make the effort to try and figure out where I live to actually show up at my door and apologize. Because I'm not taking accountability anymore for the shit that they pulled too. I'm not taking accountability and taking the fall for what my ex has done and what she's done to me. Just as I don't want her to be having to take accountability for my bullshit and how I've reacted to things. That's on me. And that's where I've had to go get therapy. I've had to do a lot of heavy self-reflecting over the last several months and pay more and more, be more self-aware of how I respond and react to things. I realize my ASD and all that is a factor, and I have to start paying a lot more close attention to that as well so that I can redirect my bullshit and not allow myself to respond or react to certain situations with any form of aggression. I understand that sometimes passion can be confused with anger. And it can be confused with aggression and all that. People get really passionate and all that, and you get excited, your voice raises, and then people are like, oh my god, he's mad, he's pissed off, he's freaking out. No, it's not what it is. I was going to try and get through this vid without having a smoke. But I have been, especially the last few years, I have been working really fucking hard on how I, handle and deal with situations. I got Gordon right here. You might see him pop in front of the camera. Hi, Gordon. My little baby Gordon Krantz. Oh, Kit Kat. Oh, little baby Gordon Krantz. Oh. Can I do this? And I don't think they want to look at your butt, dude. Yeah, that's gross. They don't want to look at your butt. Here, let me get you something so that way. getting some canned food. He's getting all excited. Here you go, Gordon. Here you go, Gordon. Gordon. Here you go. Put that away. Anyways, I already lost track of what I was saying, dealing with, little Gordon there. Oh yeah. No, I have been working a lot on my bullshit. There was a long time there, like before this relationship, I had moments back when I was a teenager and then was still doing drugs and all at that time. I had moments there where after that I had worked really hard and diligently to correct my shit and all that stuff. And yes, there are things that I still needed to work on that even now that I look back, it's like, yeah, I'm happy I'm starting to work on them now instead of not recognizing that shit at all. It's just, I never had the fights and arguments and all this shit where my wife was concerned or anybody that I've actually ever been with before this relationship. And hell, this even includes her, because when her and I were first together, we didn't have this type of shit going on. This all, yeah. This person that I've been dealing with, this mask of theirs, to me is a new mask. Because it's like, even though now that I have to question on what it was in high school, after what I've just experienced and everything, I have to question, okay, was that real? Like, was this person always like this? So I've had to question my about 28 years of my reality, especially where that person's involved. Like, is this what was real and what wasn't? Like, I've been doing that for a while now, especially after all this shit came about. I've had to ask myself what's real. The idea that they've admitted to manipulating me and all that for a period of time, it only adds to the fact that it wasn't just for that period of time. They were doing it the whole time. And that's why I'm stuck in this constant, I'm stuck in this constant cycle of even, when she did first show up when I was in that hospital in that weird, like, fucking coma. I still get caught in that cycle of what the fuck happened. Because I really, really don't. I only know what I was told. I know what happened, what was going on the night before, and I know what was going on when I woke up. I have no memory of anything for like 6-7 days there, so it's like I've had to go by other people's words. And so yeah, now because of all this shit that's going on, I'm stuck questioning what happened at the start for all this to go on, because now I'm stuck feeling like the entire time the situation was a scam. It was a manipulation. It was intended to literally pretty much keep me broken and virtually almost homeless. Like, we're going to build you up a little bit here in the beginning, make it absolutely wonderful for this first couple years, and then after this, we're going to start talking shit about you. We're going to start cheating on you. We're going to start doing all this weird fucked up shit behind your back without your knowledge while we tell you we love you to your face. I got people who hate me that haven't talked to me in 5-6 years. And before that, we didn't really have any issues. There were some dramas that happened in the past that I had hoped that, was for most part, resolved. Because I'm willing to look past how people treat me, and that's why I didn't bother doing some of the things I did. Because I'll tell you right now, as a parent, if you're co-parenting, with another parent, and the other parent, and say their other half, say the step-parent, or even the grandparents involved, are treating you like shit on a regular basis and talking shit to you, you don't have they don't have a right to put you through that, and you don't have to stay to deal with it. The child doesn't need to be stuck in the middle, witnessing their one parent being abused by their other parent in that family, and all that does is create, like what we see in my older son. You see the parental alienation syndrome. And so, no, I was not about to, in exchange, in order to be a part of my child's life, to have to be abused by them. That wasn't going to be an option for me. I chose to stay away. Not just because of my own habits and addictions that I was battling with at the time, because I did not want my kids involved with that. But even after I went clean, I avoided them, minus my younger son, because I was not about to deal with that abuse or continued abuse. And sadly enough, because I did and do love my older son's mom a lot, I had given that benefit that she wasn't going to treat me the way that she had been doing while she was still married to her ex. The man that she went around, that everybody originally understood. Yeah, I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that noise. It's been a lot of bullshit. I've gone through some fucking hell. From what I've dealt with in our relationship to just life in general, from losing my best friend / my brother, and a month before that was my best friend / sister. Going through a divorce just before that, like finalizing my divorce just a year before that. The following year, yeah, every fucking year I've not had a break from anything. Like something has happened. And it's like, can I please have a break? I've given so much of myself to that person. I have nothing left to give. I changed everything I could about myself that I thought needed to change, and it still wasn't good enough. I can't change my ASD. I can't change my neurofibromatosis type 2. That is a genetic disorder. I can't change those things. So it's like trying to get approval, or finally trying to get love from somebody who can never see past the fact that you're born with a disability that is one that is degenerative, and it only is going to get worse in time. The other one just doesn't go away. It can get worse or better in time. It just depends on how you work on those. And like my case, my social skills. And when I've been alienated and isolated for the last 4 or 5 years, my social skills are shit. What you see here is it's easier for me to talk right now. I've had to build up comfortability just talking to the camera. But in real life, unless I get comfortable with you or make a connection with you somehow, I won't talk to you. I will feel uncomfortable. I will definitely start to stutter, or I'll shut down. I don't know how to talk to people. Where other people, I will word vomit and never shut the fuck up. So, I mean, I've been especially, over the last couple of years, I've been working on a lot on myself, and at the same time was giving every bit of patience I could to the relationships in hopes that it would get better. All I wanted them to do was prioritize the relationship and learn how to communicate. I wanted us to work on our problems and get them dealt with so we didn't have to deal with them anymore. Only to find out the whole thing was a show. She would do these things intentionally to make me look crazy so then she can turn around and use that. And she admitted to this. She would use my reactions to turn around and get sympathy from friends and family online. She'd use that shit to go and get sympathy from other men to make them think she's being vulnerable for them to make advances towards her. She was manipulating them at my expense. That's why I'm getting random fucking threats from people. And I think some of it is starting to stem from a third-party situation. A jealous, pissy third party who's a fucking piece of shit. And I will say it that way. Because no, you don't go fucking getting in the middle of people's relationships like that. Especially when you're in your 30s and 40s and 50s. It's time to grow up. If you're going to be stupid like that, do it when you're still in college or high school. When everybody's pretty much, for the most part, being young, dumb, and full of some sort of cum. It's just gotta, no, this, you don't fucking, no. To me, especially once you're in a relationship with somebody for so fucking long, in God's eyes, you're married to them in a spiritual sense. You've made some sort of contract with that person, and when you're intentionally out having third party relations with multiple men over a time span, does this mean like there's been hundreds of? No, I don't. I only, in all honesty, I only think there's maybe half a dozen at most. The rest of it has been pretty much strictly to online. That's why they get pissy and go, I'm not a hooker. You're a hooker. If you're selling your body in any way, shape, or form, online or offline, for the self gratification of a man in return of money, you're a hooker. Your purpose is to sexually get somebody off in some way, shape, or form for a price. Whether you're doing it in front of a camera or you're doing it in the backseat of a car in a dirty old alleyway somewhere, you're still a fucking hooker. You're still selling your body for another man to get sexual gratification off of, in the exchange of money. How many homes, families, and all have been wrecked because of people being tempted by money? It's like, if you really wanted that, maybe either change the career that you're doing or find something that you can do to help you reach that goal. And all, yeah, it might take you a minute or a little bit, but fast money is not usually the way to go, because it usually ends up fast money ends up with hard time somewhere attached to it. Like I said, well, no, I'm not going back to it. Today's been an interesting day. After this morning's, chocolate milk vid, I just wanted people laughing and smile, because I've been feeling like shit a lot here lately, and obviously, and instead of, continuously posting stuff like that, I wanted to be able to post something at least positive and make people laugh and smile today for a change. Because that is important to me. It's something I enjoyed doing as a kid. I liked seeing people smiling and being happy, and that was kind of taken from me. So I just and that's partly my fault for allowing it to happen. But anyways, I have now rambled for going on 38 minutes. I'm not sure how to say this part, because it's got me a little nervous or excited, flustered, whatever you want to call it. I do want to say thank you to another YouTuber who has subscribed to my channel for following. I'm just a little itty bitty nobody, and to have someone like yourself subscribe to my channel actually does mean a lot. I do appreciate you, just as I appreciate the others as well that have subscribed, including the others that, are pretty much subscribed for specific reasons that aren't always necessarily good, but hey, they're still subscribers, they're fans. Anyways, I'll leave a link below to Miss Harmon's channel and all that. I do appreciate that lady a lot. And I was just kind of surprised that they gave a subscriber a follow or whatever. They were the ones that, when they were talking about quantum entanglement, that is kind of like, for some reason, triggered my brain and all that again. That type of thing. And I miss that stuff. When I go into those deep thoughts and I'm starting to, put a puzzle together. And that's probably why I've been hyper-focused with the shit that I've been dealing with. Because I was left in the dark in such a way that I'm now having to get my information not just from everything that I've saved, from messages to emails, etc., but from memory, experience, to paying attention to other people and what they're doing. So it's like getting little bits of pieces of information from all over the place and being able to paint a picture. It may not be 100% accurate. And to some degrees, at some points, it may not be very accurate, but there's accuracy to it. But I can tell you right now, I think I'm pretty fucking close onto what's going on, and that's why I really am looking forward to my home being sold. Because, no, I don't feel safe in my home anymore. As is, it feels like a prison to me. But with these other things that's going on, I can't help but, yeah, have some concern. So, anyways, again, thanks for watching. I will leave a link in the description below so that if you want to go give a subscribe to Miss Harmon's channel. She does a lot of tarot readings and stuff like that. Really good lady. She has a lot of wisdom to share too on there. And that's one of my favorite things to listen to and all that. I've gotten to a point where I have a different shows and channels that I watch on there. And when I watched all the videos and stuff, I'm kind of expanding things out into other interests that I have. And so I listen to her channel and a few others, you know, like in that category of things. And then Gordon's still eating his food. You have to wait, young lady. She wants his beef and cheese kitty food, the canned stuff. And it's like, no, he's still eating it. You have to wait, young lady, because I'll let them eat the last bit of it. If it has fish in it, I won't give it to him. But no, I watch a mix of things from Demolition Ranch to Kentucky to Ballistics. Oh my gosh, Camping with Steve Wallace or Steve Wallace. What is it? How Ridiculous or Ridiculousness or whatever. The three guys from, I want to say, Australia or New Zealand that has done some pretty weird, crazy shit on there, like making a hole-in-one from the top of a dam, or making a basket from a lighthouse into a basketball hoop that's on the nose of a boat. So I mean, I watch a little of everything. Same thing with what was it, Dip Your Car or whatever. It's a paint channel. I like to watch them mix paint. Yes, that's how I am. And it is, for some reason, it's relaxing. I will sit and watch, and it's pretty cool. Some of the things, though, the paint's kind of weird. Like, there's not much. Others, it's really fucking neat looking. So, yeah, cars and cans, grind art plumbing. I watched a little bit of everything. So, anyways, again, like I said, thank you for watching for like the third or fourth time, and have a good night.